Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft2 Legacy of the Void! Today it's going to be a match between Nerchio and PtitDrogo here on Year Zero, the latter edition. A lot of O's in there. Good luck, have fun, says PtitDrogo. He is representing Team Iron Chain, and Nerchio is representing Iron Chain as well. Throws up a good have fun. Top right-hand corner is the Red Protoss player, PtitDrogo. He is French, and the Polish Zerg player, Nerchio, top left. He looking good. One of those EU Zergs. For a long time, he was considered the best European Zerg in the scene, and then Cyril kind of went nuts for a while there. And Nerchio not quite the best anymore, but definitely someone who can give PtitDrogo more than he can handle without question. PtitDrogo, on the other hand, is an incredibly solid Protoss player. He is going for the Gateway Expand here. Nerchio not doing anything insane. Hatch first from him. At approximately 16 supply, which does allow you to get it down before a probe can show up and mess with you if the probe shows up early. In which case, it did not. PtitDrogo wasn't trying to shut anything down there, and Nerchio is able to get it down pretty much in peace, but 16 allows you to more safely get it down than 17, especially on this map. Alright, so not much else happening here. Did you know that we have monthly Falcon Paladin Circuit tournaments? Right, so you can show up, play against other Falcon Paladin fans, join the Discord server, link in the description, and ask anybody for directions to the sign-up channel for more details on how to sign up for it. It's pretty fantastic. I play in them, Somicron plays in them, Fire plays in them, Firebird plays in them quite a bit there too. We've also had Marblewell show up. So I mean, different players you've seen on the channel all participate. 0-0 is part of it too. So if you want to come in here and take the title, I mean, none of us are GM, right? So I mean, if you're a GM player, maybe it's not worth your time to come on in here, but a Masters level player could do pretty well, I feel like. Diamond 2, Diamond 3, Diamond 1 can make some stuff happen too. So just keep that in mind. Go ahead and join the Discord server, ask for the sign-up channel and for directions on how to sign up for the next one. You just barely missed the most recent one, I believe. I'm trying to think of when this is going to post, but bottom line, you'll see. You'll find out the times and the dates and whatnot, and you can join. Also, while there's an Adept being made here, did you know that we have a store? Yeah, there is actually a store out there where you can get Falcon Paladin merchandise. Just search Falcon Paladin Shopify for more information on how to get stuff. You got the mugs, you got the hats, you got the jackets and the hoodies and whatnot, and it's a pretty good time. Check it out, falconpaladinshopify.com. Ling's out. Yeah, they don't want to go too far. There's an Adept out there, and the Adept will come and murder them if given the opportunity to do so. There's your third base at about 250 or so from Nerchio. He's got gas, enough gas to get speed on the way. He did pull workers off gas temporarily here to get that third base up and get some additional drones and queens produced. And then he should put those back on here just in a couple of minutes. It is a Stargate opening for PtitDrogo. Let's see what he makes out of ye old Stargate. First building out is a Phoenix. Who's going to Phoenix play here? Either that or go for a Phoenix Oracle play, which can be pretty fantastic if all you have to defend is a Spore and a Queen. Because you lift the Queen and then the Spore does some serious work, but not enough. And anyway, it's pretty fantastical. Oh, it is an Oracle follow-up here, though. So an Oracle and a Phoenix. I almost feel like we need two names for these setups, like a Bonnie and Clyde situation. There was a time that the double Adept opening was fairly common, and people were naming Adept pairs. But that stopped being a thing for quite some time. Really, the one Adept is really all that we see here, and especially against Terran. It's just not a thing anymore. Adepts especially holding the line against the number of Zerglings that are out. So, yeah, if you want to submit maybe Oracle pair names, I might get those started, like Oracle Phoenix pair names, right? So it's not twins necessarily, but it's just a pairing. I don't know how often we see this, though. I don't know if I want to actually get names suggested for that. I'm not sure these guys are going to be offensive anyway, based on the angles we're taking. These Oracles are just planning on staying home, defending against Ling Harass, which Nerchio is actually not planning on doing all that much of. He is droning his face off right now. He has put one worker back on gas. Oh, there we go. There's the 2. So now back up to 3 here at about 4.5 minutes. His drone count is fairly healthy at 43. Tied up with PtitDrogo's. Oracle is going to swing around to the third base. There's a Queen here and a Spore. The Spore's not really in much of a position to help. It expects the Oracle to come from this direction. And as a result, one drone goes down, but nice pull. Nice pull, keeping those dudes alive there. Roach Warren coming up from Nerchio. Phoenix trying to fly on in, do something by itself, but 2 Queens. Problematic here. Some of the best anti-air in the game from those Queens for sure. 11 drones at a time being produced for Nerchio. PtitDrogo is making additional Phoenix here, going for a bit of a big Phoenix play. But against Roach, it's not all that good. If Nerchio can 3-base max Roach this thing here in the next couple of minutes, then PtitDrogo is going to have his Phoenix, and they're not going to be all that worth anything. PtitDrogo is throwing up a 3rd base. I'd really like to see him make a robotics facility at some point here, but he is just double pumping Phoenix, yo. And I mean, sure, it helps you kill a lot of drones here, but if you can't kill the army knocking on your front door, it doesn't really do much, does it? That is correct, Falcon. It doesn't really do much. Okay, so double robotics facility as the follow-up here from PtitDrogo. So he is going to make some immortals, hopefully to deal with all the roaches that are going to come his way. Lair just about done. 10 more drones coming in from Nerchio. All right. So he's not going for a quick roach max, I can tell you that much. Ah, the Phoenix counts enough to actually kill these 2 queens. One of them getting hammered by a spore, so drops the pickup and then moves around to a different angle, and 2 queens go down. Overlord out too, and now it is kind of open season on these drones. I've been in this position before. It is not a good place to be if you're Zerg. Hydralisk Den is in production here. Queens getting some nice shots off on the Phoenix. Good number of them there too, where the Phoenix can't necessarily lift all of them and still be able to kill anything. 3rd base is the next object of their affections here. Overlord killed. Supply blocking Nerchio. No. Does not supply block the Zerg, but maybe these 2 Overlords. Man, he wants it. Oh, but he loses another Phoenix in the process. That's not good. Nerchio replacing his losses, making 8 drones at a time. Not really making all that many Hydralisks, and by that I mean he currently has none. So he made a Hydralisk Den. He's going for upgrades for him, but he hasn't built any yet. He doesn't need to. The Queens and the Spores should be enough to hold on for the time being, but PtitDrogo's got a 3rd base up here, you guys. Ah, quick. Ready? Yes, but I might pause when it comes back. What comes back, Nerchio? Lag, maybe? I bet there was lag. I bet that's what the it is. There we go. 9 Hydras in production, making it impossible for the Phoenix to lift all of them, especially if they have the range upgrade. Templar Archives on the way from PtitDrogo too, so he's going to have Storm for Hydras. He's going to have Immortals for Roaches. I'm really liking what we're seeing out of PtitDrogo right now, as a bunch of drones get massacred by the Phoenix. It's a lot of drones down, you guys. It is 16 killed in the first 7 minutes of the game. PtitDrogo is up 69 to 64 workers. Oh, but don't lose the Phoenix. Oh, the high ground saves that one. 4th base by Nerchio at about 7.5 minutes, but PtitDrogo has been on 3 for a while now, and that really benefits the Protoss really excellently well. Ling's just scouting around, trying to see where PtitDrogo is. He finds the army quite nicely, or a part of it anyway. Tries to see, is there a 4th base up here? There is not, but the timing there kind of works for him to see the pylon getting warped in. And by that I mean, where the heck is that probe? There it is. All right, so scouted. He does scout the 4th base. Goodbye, Overseer. Goodbye, Overseer. Nerchio takes a 5th base. Actually started that well before that 4th base started getting warped in. So Nerchio trying to get ahead of things here on the economy side of things, getting a Spire, getting a Hive, getting a +1 missile attack. Hydra count getting pretty nice here. He doesn't have speed for the Hydras. It doesn't matter for that Oracle, though. That Oracle is toast. Hallucinated Phoenix. We got a Warp Prism cruising around now, the 8.5 minute mark. It's 137 to 144 supply. I mean, this is just the level of ZVP that I love to see. It's just hugely impressive macro players with good micro, good decision making here too. You don't make it to WCS Winter by being bad at this game. You just don't. Did he? Oh, I was going to say, did he recall that? Because I couldn't quite see it because the map edges were covering the guy. Anyway, he's going to move in, but there are Hydras waiting, or there were Hydras waiting for it. Oh, Spore Crawler, shot. Oh, don't lose this Warping of Zealots. Come on, man. Okay, doesn't lose the Warping of Zealots, but dies anyway. That was not good. All the Zealots die because the Hydras are waiting for that. Meanwhile, attacking on into the 5th base. Pretty decent army here from PtitDrogo. He's got the Storm. He's got the Immortals. He's got the Charge Lots. He's got the Archons. He's got the Charge Lots. Did I say those already? I did. But they're doing really well against these Zerglings. This is a rough situation to be in. If you are a Zerg, he's got a lot of Hydras. He's making some Banelings to deal with those Zealots. Once the Charge Lots are gone, it's much easier to deal with by just the sheer number of Lings that are out. Army supply, 88 to 85. Pretty darn close here on year 0. Dang, really that many banelings? All right, man. You just made about 18 banelings ready to rock here. Force field count can't be too high with only 2 sentries, but can be nice. That is a lot of High Templar. Actually changing a pair of those into an Archon. Summoning them. Merging. Ugh, it's merging here. Anyway. Wings and Hydras versus the Zealots. Thank you very much. Storm and Immortals just crushing through this thing. The banelings are trying to connect, but getting stormed. Oh, it's a lot of dead Zerg. 6,000 resources lost for Nerchio to 5,300 for PtitDrogo. He is staying ahead. The Storm versus this Hydraling Baneling thing is so good. So great. Nerchio making 10 drones at a time, going for a Greater Spire. Zealots hacking away at the 4th base down south with some Hydras coming to deal with them. Just a small group. Not going crazy with it. Reinforcing units coming in, mostly charge lots. That's a lot of dead banelings. How many banelings have died, Falcon? 23! That is not banelings that have died on their targets. That is banelings that have been killed before they exploded on their intended target. It's kind of nuts. The number that is. A 5th base on the way from PtitDrogo down in the bottom right-hand corner, warping while being on the warpath here. But I kind of feel like we're going to start seeing some Broodlords here. Gonna get into this late game, getting a little bit scary here for PtitDrogo. I'm not sure he's ready for Broodlords or not. Banelings taking the storms directly to the face. Oh my gosh. That is so good. All right. Well, Archons, maybe not the answer here either. We're just blanketing the Hydralisks with storm after storm after storm. Does it matter? I don't know. How many more storms are remaining right now? Lifting some of the Hydras, and that's a good game. Nerchio taps out. PtitDrogo is your winner in game number 1 of our sneaky twofer. Amazing. Amazing game there. Good job, PtitDrogo. Seriously, getting the win. So game number 1 goes to PtitDrogo. All of the storms in the entire world is what that was. That was just a hajillion storms. Army supply was 63 to 47. Nerchio could not defend this base. PtitDrogo had happily taken his own 5th. It's going to be a 4-base to a 5-base situation. The Broodlords were not going to get out in time. Lings and Hydras are not the answer to that tech either. And Nerchio tapped out. Maybe a little prematurely. I don't kind of want to look at what happened here at the end. I mean, the Hydras are trading really well versus the Archons, but the Lings are getting roasted. Yeah, that lift along the bottom side was kind of problematic too. A lot of Hydras are going to die. How many Hydras are down here? A lot. I mean, that's a lot of orange and red and yellows, and 3 of them are going to die instantly. Archon doing some work, but again, almost dead. Doesn't have very many shields left at all. The Immortals, as usual, really MVPs of this match. 9 kills, 11 kills, 11 kills on that one too, and it's just so darn cost efficient. Even if your opponent doesn't have any roaches, guys, Immortals are still very, very good, absorbing Baneling hits and whatnot. Yeah, I think the key was, honestly, the storms on those Banelings. How many Banelings died? 53. 53 Banelings died without hitting what they wanted to kill. That's nuts. That is just incredibly sad for those Banelings. All they had was one dream in life. That was to explode on something and kill it. And that dream cruelly ripped away. Overall, resources lost, 12,000 for Nerchio, 9,000 for PtitDrogo. Again, just 21 Hydras, 53 Banelings, 8 Queens. For really not that much from PtitDrogo, 40 Zealots died, but otherwise it's single digits across the board. I mean, no Immortals went down in that game. Just beautiful, beautiful play. All right, game 2 of our Sneaky Twofer coming up next. Don't go anywhere. Game 2 of our Sneaky Twofer is here on Port Alexander, the Ladder Edition. Top left-hand corner, Red Zerg player Nerchio. Once again, blue in the bottom right, it is PtitDrogo. Port Alexander. Have not cast a game on this map for a little bit, I feel like. Lots of boxes, lit up by lights. What is the purpose of these lights, I wonder? Maybe just to highlight there are boxes here, right? Right. Okay, so good luck, have fun, say the teammates of Team Iron Chain. Refuel docks, it says. Refueling docks, huh? I mean, this is like leaking Vespine gas. I guess you could refuel here. Maybe you like land on top of it and fuel gets pumped into your ship and then you're good to go. Is that how that works? I don't know. I don't know how anything works, really, TRCAD. Probe scouting out. Once again, not early enough to block the hatchery, but scouting out with plenty of time to do some other scouting as well. Not a big deal. Not a problem for PtitDrogo, but he just masterfully played that in the last game. I've had this happen to me, guys. You go for the Phoenix Harass. It's hard to deal with. You don't get enough hiders out in time. You're kind of caught droning up a little bit. You lose a ton of drones. It slows you down, and then they show up with a big Immortal Zealot Storm composition, and it's like, I don't have enough to deal with this right now, and then you die. So Nerchio, we'll see how he does here in the second match of this sneaky two-fer, again from WCS Winter, the European edition. Gonna put the three guys on the gas there. Expansion coming up for PtitDrogo back home. Cybercore is part of the wall. Overlord scouting has no idea what PtitDrogo is up to otherwise. But if there's a probe scouting around, it's probably not going to be a proxy. Probably not going to be a cannon rush. You can see this guy really shouldn't have to worry. Although some players will send a second probe out, start cannon rushing your natural ones in here, making you feel like everything is okay. So that's why I like sending the first overlord, or the second overlord rather, down towards the natural base. Get a quick scout out, see what's here. And then if you want to move it out, that's totally fine, because you don't need it there forever. Once the creep's up, you're pretty much safe to go. Again, as long as there are no active cannons warping in before the creep pops. You know what I mean? Yes, I think you do. Speed coming in from Nerchio. Hey, also, did you know that I have a podcast? It's the weekly podcast, the Falcon Paladin Hour. We talk about cool stuff like Endgame, and Deadpool, and Detective Pikachu, and what else is coming out? John Wick? John Wick 3 might be involved in the next edition of the podcast. We'll have to see. Have to see if we get there. Also do talk about the world of StarCraft and other video games that are coming out, esports and whatnot. If you like podcasts and you like Falcon Paladin and you'd like to hear him talk to an Aussie for an hour a week or so during your commute, go ahead and check it out. Check out the Falcon Paladin Hour. Just search Falcon Paladin in your podcast app or Falcon Paladin Hour on a web browser, and you can find it on several different sites. It's in iTunes. It's on Pod Center. It's on Pod City. I mean, there's 100 million different podcast websites out there, and they all pull from the same sources, so you can find it. Depth scouts around, sees the third base is already about 30% complete. And what is PtitDrogo's answer going to be here? Once again, going for ye old Phoenix. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Go for that Phoenix play, a double Stargate Phoenix. Not Phoenix all the time, all day, but enough. Enough to where you can kill 17 drones in the first couple minutes of the game and really slow down that Zerg player. Also, Phoenix first means an Overlord is going to die. Nerchio probably not going to get supply blocked here. Man, stay here, mouse. Sometimes it has a mind of its own, as you can tell. Gets blood into the construction of that assimilator. Doesn't seem any worse for the wear for it, though. Nerchio, once again, making a handful of Zerglings, but not going crazy with it. Just really making more drones than anything else at the stage. Make an Overlord so as not to be supply block. 35 to 39 worker count. Chrono boost is good. Is good unit. Also, the fact that drones have to sacrifice their own lives to make buildings is also pretty good for Protoss. It is. It's another... Wow, same story? Ooh, is this going to work 2 times in a row, PtitDrogo? I don't know, man. Let's find out. Let's work together and find out. Zerglings up here trying to scout if there's a third base. They want to shut it down before it even starts building, which seems a little bit difficult to do. Oracle does end up getting a kill at the third base. Really nothing happening there. Phoenix cruising around here too. Still no third base. Look at these Lings hiding though. Oh, the Adept comes in and the Lings going for that surround. Nice positioning. Means a full surround is not possible. Nuh-uh. They're going to get out of this. Oh, both of them escape. Oh, PtitDrogo. What control there. That was nuts. They both would have died if I'd been controlling them, that's for sure. Zealots Adepts clearing out the third base. I mean, I love that PtitDrogo took the time to do that. He didn't just blindly send a probe up. He said, I bet Nerchio's got some shenanigans ready for me, and by golly, he did. What's our next song gonna be? Zerg music? Zerg music. That reminds me of, people music. I like it. Rick and Morty's back in November, you guys. I do love me some Rick and Morty. The way I know that I love Rick and Morty is a couple years ago, I introduced my wife to it. We were just going through the whole 2 seasons, and every episode, I'd see the episode title and be like, oh, it's this one. And then the next one, I'd be like, oh, it's this one. Like, every episode is special to me in some way. And that's how I know I love it. So happy. All right, so Phoenix here. Bam, bam, bam. Goodbye, drones. So many dead workers. 7 down there. No Phoenix have died yet at all. I mean, maybe some free Zerglings if you wanted, but why bother with the energy? That's what I have to say here. Additional spores coming up here. I feel like maybe Nerchio has learned a little bit. Throwing up additional spores at each base, recognizing that that count is going to be a little bit higher than it normally is. Yeah, 2 spores at each base is additional drones, but it might save the lives of others. I mean, 9 drones have still gone down. PtitDrogo gets his 3rd base up with no incident. He's up 55 to 51 workers. He's actually this time going for a Twilight Council. He already has double robotics facility for double mortal production here. Roaches. Okay, so it is roaches this time from Nerchio. He does manage to sneak a roachling attack down here to the 3rd base. The Oracle is trying to help here, but can really only do so much. Zerglings are trying to pick off some of these probes. The full evacuation has begun. The Phoenix are going to lift and kill these roaches, but Lings on top of the probes are not a good look at all for PtitDrogo. I think all the roaches are going to die, but a lot of energy is being expended on this. Energy that can't be used otherwise in killing drones on the other side of the map. Oracle just chewing through these Zerglings, though. 14, 15, 16 has so much energy remaining, but too many Zerglings. The Nexus does end up going down. 7 probes have been killed here, too. Oracle could not do enough to save the Nexus. 23 kills on her, but just not quite strong enough or fast enough to wipe out every single one of those Zerglings. So we're 3 base to 2 base in it. PtitDrogo, that's what I'm talking about here from Nerchio. Send the roaches over. Send the Lings over. I mean, it's even worker count, but PtitDrogo is horribly oversaturated, which means he has to long-distance mine, so the saturation isn't disgusting. Phoenix fly on in here, but Queen's ready to rock. The natural base has a bunch of Queens here, too. Nerchio really preparing well for this time. 9 Hydras in production, and they should be able to stand in this situation. So I'm loving it. Templar Archives coming in from PtitDrogo. He's not deviating from the plan. He's going for charge. He's going for a Warp Prism. He's going to go for Storm. But he lost his 3rd base and didn't do enough to really slow down Nerchio. I don't think 10 drones down is a number, but it's not enough to really make Nerchio regret all of his decisions to this point in the game. So I think Nerchio really, again, learned from game number 1. And seems to be in a pretty darn good position to win game number 2 here. Throwing up a 4th base. He's keeping ahead of PtitDrogo on base count, which is so good to see for Nerchio fans. Phoenix kind of hanging out in the top left-hand corner, which can get scary if enough Queens and Hydras are kind of boxing you in here that you can't get out without losing some units. Baneling Nest coming on in, recognizing charge loss are going to be part of the play here from PtitDrogo. Storm being Chrono Boost, or not being Chrono Boost, it's just being built as normal here at the Templar Archives. Phoenix cruising on down, trying to see what they can see. And the answer is a lot of Overlords down here, but there are a lot of Spores present. And Queens and Hydras, too. So, sure, they're big, juicy targets, but they're defended appropriately by Nerchio. Resources lost. 2,400 from Nerchio, 1,600 from PtitDrogo. But again, one of those was a Nexus. Slowed you down quite immensely. Look at all of... How many Queens do you have, Nerchio? 11 Queens! This is Snoot style for sure. Oh gosh. Oh gosh. Nice recovery time there. Only lost 1 of the Phoenix. That could have been so much worse for PtitDrogo. Did you all inject on this thing? I feel like all of you just tossed down a quick inject on that thing at the same time, which is kind of hilarious. Speed on the way for the Hydras. Working on +2 missile attack. Hive in production now from Nerchio at 9.5 minutes. So officially a 4-basing Zerg versus a 3-basing Protoss. The Storms, though. The Storms are the equalizers here. There are 6 High Templar. They don't have full energy. They're working on... they've got 1 each, but nobody has 2 quite yet. PtitDrogo is going to go ahead and throw down a 4th Nexus. Trying to make that happen. Phoenix trying to lift and kill some more of these drones, but losing their numbers in the process. A little bit of a dangerous maneuver there. Phoenix count is not healthy, and a lot of these guys are injured, too. There's only 7 of them remaining. A lot of them are in the reds and the yellows, too, which is not so hot. Got some Hydras patrolling the north base in case a Warp Prism is here to try to kill them, sending Overlords out on scouting missions to try to see if there's anything they need to worry about before they move out with this army of Hydralisks and Banelings. Centrifugal Hooks is about 70% complete. Warp Prism is being followed by an Overlord. You just really can't get anything done with this, can you? Oh, PtitDrogo, you can't just fly in here. Why would you do this? All right, bye, I guess. I mean, not dead, but effectively so. You can't come back in with that. There's too few HP. Too little HP. Is it few here? I think it's too few hit points to make that happen. Another Phoenix down. Lings versus Charge Lots and Archons. Not exactly what you want there. Nerchio very wisely backs out here. PtitDrogo's army is terrifying, and it's 102 supply versus 92 for Nerchio, which is bad. 8 Hydras at a time here. Spire on the production for Nerchio, getting a 5th base now, too, but the 4th base is almost done from PtitDrogo, so we're kind of bouncing back and forth as to who has the economic lead right now. Technically, Nerchio has 74 to 66 workers, so, I mean, that is a full saturation on all 4 of these bases. A little bit oversaturated at the main and the natural, but a lot of stuff's going on right now. Overseer with speed does cruise on in to see what's going on here as far as tech choices are concerned. And PtitDrogo going for it again here. Greater Spire on the way from Nerchio. Is a bit more time in this game to do that. Meanwhile, Charge Lots doing stuff at the 5th base. Attack towards the 4th base here too. Is there enough Zerg here to stop it? I don't know, man. That's a lot of Storm against these Hydras. Hydras are just getting absolutely consumed by the Psionic Storm right now. Lings are rolling in. That's not going to be your answer at all. A lot of drones trying to get focused down here too. Again, Immortals. No bonus damage versus Hydras, but it's enough. Dude, the Storm count. Oh, the 5th base does get taken on by Charge Lots. Nicely done. Nicely done, PtitDrogo, with a multitask. Trying to catch some of these Hydras that are just wandering out of the natural base to get massacred. Then reinforcing Hydras do show up here. I think PtitDrogo can afford to go back in as the Hydras are responding to this Charge Lot stuff inside the main base now too. Still alive with the natural temporarily. The hatch does end up going down. Storm on the Hydras. 11, 12 drones have been killed. Queens are getting massacred all over the place here too. I don't know that Nerchio can withstand losing 2 bases and 13 drones in just a couple of minutes there. PtitDrogo happily on 4 bases. Nerchio suddenly finds himself on 3. And once again, PtitDrogo just making it work with Storm, warping in Charge Lots. I mean, that is just, if you're not doing that, Protoss players, if you're not attacking into a Zerg base or attacking into a Terran base and then just warp prisming your way into their main with a ton of Charge Lots, I don't know what you're doing with your life. It is so hard to handle as both Zerg and Terran. To handle both of those at the same time is rough. Fleet Beacon coming in from PtitDrogo. I guess he's going for Templar. Recognizing... Wait. Did we lose the Greater Spire? No. Did he cancel the Greater... I feel like he canceled the Greater Spire at some point. And then was like, I guess maybe I'll go for it in the end here. Making some Infestors, too. Fungals, Infested Terrans, I don't know what. That's a pretty good Storm dodge by Nerchio. So, I mean, he's surviving. Not great, but he is surviving. His 4th base gets scouted by Charge Lots who are like, there's not a base here at all. I guess we'll hack your extractor down to pieces and maybe kill that drone. Where's your charged cooldown? There it is. Man, charge cooldown is not that long. It's really not that long, is it? No, it's not. All right, couple Corruptors in production. Nerchio very carefully shepherding what available money he has. Replacement 4th base pops. He's at 63 workers, which is a pretty good place to be. Warp Prism trying to cruise back in here, but should be spotted by Nerchio. Oh, the Banelings exploding on those Archons. That's not what you want, and that's your good game. Once again, PtitDrogo ends up winning that thing. I just want to, again, I just like taking stock and see what's going on here in the minutes before, or the minute of the GG, because again, it felt a little premature. Did he not? Oh, did all of these Banelings wander into Archons? Was that what it is? Oh my gosh, it was. Look at this. So that was it. There were 28 Hydras, 5 Banelings, and 3 Infestors with no energy for Nerchio versus 8 Immortals, 4 Archons, 9 Charge Lots, 8 High Templar with Storm. I mean, it wasn't technically over, but it was over. The Storms, the Immortals alone. I mean, there were... what, 2 Immortals for every Hydra, at least in this engagement. I don't know where the rest of the Hydralisks are. Oh, he was down here. He was out of position. I guess that hurts. Yeah, I guess maybe he figured I can't hold this attack and deal with the Warp Prism coming into my main and warping in a bunch of Charge Lots there too. It's not going to happen. So he tapped right on out. And PtitDrogo, man, looking good. Looking good in the neighborhood today. Mortals, 10 kills, 7 kills, 17 kills. Any Immortals die in this game? No, absolutely not. So what I'm talking about, guys, Immortal is good unit. amazing. Amazing, amazing games. Good job there by PtitDrogo. No questions asked. Just beautiful, beautiful Protoss stuff there. Again, 47 Zealots die, but other than that, 5 Archons, couple Adepts, couple High Templar, but really not much of anything else here. 12,000 resources lost to 15,000 for Nerchio. 21 Hydras went down, 138 Zerglings, those 13 Banelings. I think that was it. He just lost control of his Banelings for a second. They all exploded on those Archons. And that was it. He needed them to hit other things besides those Archons and the Immortals. Like sneak it into this little sneaky area where all of these High Templar live and some Zealots are in the mix too. That'd be great. Hard to do, but great. All right, that's going to be it from me. This has been Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void. Go ahead and hit that like button. Hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.